the Hades mod. Okay, there's a clone, the Hades clone. When I first got this, I thought it would be heavy, but no, it wasn't. It's not as big as I thought it would be either. It is still hand coverable, sorta. Right? It's still hand coverable. As you can see, it's not as big as I thought it would be as well. So it's not as big or as heavy as I thought it would be. But from the other reviews that I saw, they said that this Switch was freaking heavy. They weren't lying. If you want to do a finger workout, I can't even pinky this. My pinky hurts. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a video on how to replace that spring with a lighter one. It's really easy. But this is kind of an overview of the Hades clone. Since I'm doing this, I might as well do it on camera. Here is the Hades clone, reading at 4.14. It was reading at 4.12. That makes me 4.1. Okay, let's just take 4.14. Let's take the highest number. Screw on my K-Fun with a 1.04 ohm coil. And I'm going to take a vape while I check the voltage. .91, 3.9, 3.87, 3.91. So 3.91 is the highest number. And with a little bit of calculations, let's go ahead and check the voltage drop on roughly a 1 ohm coil. So a 0.22 voltage drop, which is incredibly good. A lot better than I thought it would be on this Hades clone. What battery I'm using a Sony VTC4 18650 battery. I'm not joking, it is an 18650 battery. I just have a battery sleeve on it so that I could use 18650s instead of the 26650s. So it's definitely performing. I'm very, very, very happy that it's performing. At the same time, the Sony batteries are a powerhouse, and voltage drop has so many variables. One being, oh my god, I was not freaking recording! Damn it! Alright guys, so there's a brand new MNK battery in here. Brand spanking new. Shit. I guess I'll do it again. Shit. Can't believe I wasn't recording. So we got 4.09, it was 4.08, but 4.09. Go ahead and put that K-Fun back on here with a 1.4 ohm coil. Snap that. 3.76, the highest that I got. So 3.7, 3.78, 3.77, 3.78. Okay, 3.78. There. 4.09 minus 3.78. 0.31 voltage drop. 0.31 voltage drop on an MNKE. I'm not sure how that stacks up with the Sony VTC4, as I did not. I have no freaking clue. I gotta watch that video. I'll go ahead and watch that video right now. That's it. Alright, so 0.22 voltage drop with the Sony VTC4 18650 battery. I'm getting a 0.31 voltage drop with the MNKE. What's that kind of tell you? Of course, the Sony VTC4 battery works better. This MNK is actually brand new. It should actually perform better, but the Sony VTC4 that I use was kind of, I've been using it for a few months. Even then, it actually outperformed the MNKE 26650. So I was going to get the Sony 26650, but then the milliamp really got me. The MNKE milliamp was like so much higher that I actually would rather have a little bit less performance, but then a lot longer battery life. The whole point of going 26650 is not performance, guys. It's the battery life. That's the whole point of why you would even want to go with a mod such as this, would be the battery life, not the performance. So, again, I stuck with the M&K batteries. I'm not regretting it, especially because I do have that tube that I could use 18650 batteries with, and so that's why I'm not so much regretting it. See that tube right there? Go ahead and pop an 1860 battery in here and pop it into this Hades mod. The 18650 batteries are a little bit shorter than the 26650s, but not enough where it won't work on this. It will work just fine on this. You might get a little battery rattle, but again, the switch will work just fine on it. So that is the kind of update on the M&K. Hopefully this time we recorded. Alright guys, so I finally got pissed off at the Hades mod. This is a clone, but I heard the regular mod does the same exact crap. This switch, holy freaking moly, it is beyond stiff, and it was just getting really annoying. And I want to use this Hades mod because of the battery capacity. So let's look at this. See, this is the Cho 8 for the Mossberg 500 extension tube setup. Well, this is my original shotgun, Mossberg 500 shotgun tube, the original one. I'm gonna cut this now. I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna use this as the frickin' spring for the Hades mod. So what you do is you just obviously pop off the bottom cap. You push up. It's gonna be hard, guys, because it's freaking stiff. You push up and you unscrew that center. Okay, I'm gonna go do that right now. I did this with my fingernails, and there it goes. And I tightened it as well with my fingernails. Once you kind of have it going, it gets easier. Just make sure that you always put tension in the back so that it doesn't fling off on you. Okay, I finally got it. I got it apart. And that is the frickin' spring you saw in the other video. This really thick spring that's kind of tapered inwards. Well, I'm not going to taper it. I don't need to. There's really no point of tapering it. Perfect freaking fit. So this spring and this spring are pretty much the same thickness. Maybe this spring's a little thinner, but I'm going to use less of it, okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 coils on this. I'll just use 3 on this. 1, 2, 3. Again, just kind of feel the stiffness so that I make sure I get a less stiffer spring. Okay, now I'm just going to use 3 coils on that, like I said before. What am I going to cut it with? I don't know. Maybe this might cut it. I'm not quite sure. Let's go and check. If it's a cut. Yes. Okay, so there you go. That's all I'm going to use. See that? See that there? It's going to be an uneven press, but I don't give a crap because it'll still be a lot lighter than what it was. And that is a very uneven spring. But again, hopefully it'll lighten this crap up. Let's check. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, that is what I'm freaking talking about. That is what I'm freaking talking about. Go ahead and screw this back in. Oh, it's so much easier to put tension in the back now. This probably won't stand up on its own, guys. Just know that the Hades mod, it's using a 26650 battery, so it is a gigantor battery. But oh, that switch is so much nicer. So I can press it with my pinky now. Freaking awesome. Go ahead and put the mod back in, the battery back in, put the switch back in, and let's see how this works. Okay, this is the first time I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it on camera. I'm not sure how it's going to perform, but let's go ahead and check her out. So it's working flawlessly. I've fixed the switch problem with the Hades mod. Does it stand up on its own? It frickin' does. Obviously, these freaking springs for a gun a freaking shotgun magazine tube. Obviously, it's going to be strong enough for a shotgun. It's going to be strong enough for a mod. I don't know what you're going to hold this up with. A truck? Gosh, who knows? But I went ahead and I cut a piece of this. You guys saw it. If you guys have a shotgun tube spring laying around, just go ahead and grab it. Make sure you use a thicker spring though, because it is a big mod. How the return on it is not as strong as it used to be, obviously, but the press on it is just so much better. That's what I'm talking about. I could probably do it with my pinky now. Finally, I can do this with my pinky. I am sub-ohming, guys, so you are going to see a shit ton of vapor, but perfect. And it does stand up on its own. As you can see there, it does not fire. Balancing act, balancing act. Does not fire. And it's to pull on the switch became so much easier. It's like a hair switch. This mod has now just become one of my favorite mods. I actually was freaking dreading it. I was dreading using this the whole day, and I had to review it. So I was using it the way it came. The Hades mod clone. This spring, no good, no good, no good. This spring, so good, so good. I'm actually thinking I'm getting a less voltage drop from just swapping out the springs alone. This thing is hitting like a freaking beast now. It was not doing that with this spring. Okay, it was not doing what. Maybe it's because I was getting too tired to hold that button in. But now I'm able to vape this with my pinky. Perfectly fine. So I don't see why, even the original, it's the same. It's a very stiff switch. I don't see why they had to use that spring. Even with magnets, I heard this thing's even stiff. I really don't see why they had to do that, especially when there's a locking ring. But even then, you see me. I used like 2.5 rolls of spring, and it holds up on its own just fine. It's not even close to firing. I really have to push down hard for it to fire, kinda. But at the same time, it's so easy for me to press now. It's a dream. Like I said, pinky. So the Hades mod, after I figured replace that spring out, I upgraded Andy's custom upgraded spring on the Hades mod. I just showed you how to do it. I showed you what part I used, and now, oh my gosh, like, do you hear that? It is so freaking easy to press now. Oh, and it still stands up on its own. Even with a K-Fun on it, it stands up just fine on its own. There's still a very positive press you have to put down on that. This has replaced my Nemesis. It has. I put my Nemesis away now. I'm not saying this is a one-stop mod thing, but here's so far what I've tested. If you see this review, I'm going to call it a review. This is a review that stands within weeks, okay guys? So, week. I've been using this for quite a while, maybe about 2 weeks now. And I've been recording a little bit at a time. This is the end of the video, so you saw the voltage drop with the MNKE and Sony BTC4. And then you also saw the upgraded switch. Now, how it works, what I've done was okay, these batteries don't charge on the FS Soda charger. They don't do it. They don't charge. Actually, I got it to charge. I got one battery to charge, but it only charged to, what, 4.12 volts before it goes green. So I opened up another charger. This is the cheapy 450 milliamp charger. and that has actually a bigger terminal, so I could actually charge 26650 batteries in there. So how long did it take me to charge from 3.4 volts up to 4.22? It took me 12 hours, guys. 12 hours to charge a battery from 3.4 volts. Okay, so it takes a freaking gigantic amount of time to charge this battery. You could actually, these batteries could handle a lot more higher current charging. So you could actually jump up the current to 1 amp or even 2 amps and charge it much faster, 4 times faster actually, if you do that. More than 4 times really, at times 2, yeah, 4 times faster with a 2 amp charger. But I like charging at 500 milliamps. What I noticed is that the battery kind of, less stress on the battery, less heat production and all that. So I do still charge this at 500 milliamps. But the reason why this replaced pretty much all my other mods, aesthetically, it does have something to do with it. This thing just is beautiful. It's freaking beautiful. It's Andy sized. I'm 6'5", right? So it's freaking Andy sized. Performance is stellar. That's with the fan blowing in my face. I just turned it off. Chuck's vapor. You saw the voltage drop on it. Very minimal, even with MNKs. I'm already dry, so let me go ahead and drip some more, obviously, of the SOSC liquid. If you guys haven't tried this juice yet, you've got to try it. It's outstanding. I've tried several hundred juices, if not more. This is pretty much all I use these days. But okay. So, the reason why I use this. So, basically, my mechanical mods don't last me longer than 2 hours of vape time. It's just what it is. I'll sit there, I'll pop in a new battery, I'll chain vape for 2 hours, and then I'll just charge the battery because I'll drop it down to about 3.4. Alright. Sometimes with this kind of coil at 0.5 ohms, it'll last me a little longer, 3-4 hours. I'll get 4 hours of vape time. Now, with this Hades mod and this MNK Giganto battery, 26650, it lasts me 8 hours of off and on vaping, 8 hours worth of off and on vaping. So I was using just this throughout the whole freaking day. And then my brother and my friend decided, hey, let's go out and eat. I was like, sure. And then I was like, I was kind of hesitant. I was like, yeah, I was vaping on this all day. I wonder if I have enough battery. Whatever. I took this exact same setup out with me. And right after we ate, my brother and my friend and me, of course, right? We all decided to go in a little circle in the parking lot and just talk about random stuff. Right? We're just standing and talking for 2.5 hours. During that 2.5 hours, I was chain vaping this. Chain vaping. Like, non-stop. So every time I stop a sentence, I start vaping. My brother would talk, I'll still be vaping. My friend would talk, I'll still be vaping. And then I'll chime in. As soon as I chime in, I'll start vaping again. So 2.5 hours of just pure chain vaping after an 8-hour day. When I came home, I checked the voltage on this battery. It was at 3.77. Are you freaking kidding me? So I was like, I wonder, because I drained my battery to about 3.4, 3.5. So I was like, I wonder, when I need to charge this battery. And the coil setup I have on here works freaking awesome all the way down to 3.5. So at about 3.4, I start to notice, like, kind of, okay, I need to replace the battery. And so I got home, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna charge the battery. I'm at 3.75-ish. I don't need to charge it. So I vaped on it for 2 additional hours. Chain vaped. Okay, so this is 4.5 hours of chain vaping plus 8 hours of off and on vaping. 12 hours of freaking vaping, pretty much. And finally, I got that battery down to 3.5 volts. I was like, okay, I'll charge it now. That's insane amount of vaping. usually I'll go through 3 or 4 Sony BTC4 batteries if I vaped as much as I did that day. So this has replaced my 18650 mods, and I've been just dedicating. This is my main dripper, my main when I go out, what I take with me, everything. Okay, I'll pop a K-Fun on here if I need to, but this Hades mod, after this Switch upgrade makes the world of difference, guys. Without that Switch upgrade, I did not use this. The first week of me using this, I just couldn't. That Switch really pissed me off, and I ended up just putting it away after I replaced that Switch spring with my own spring that you could get from anywhere. Well, any gun shop, I guess you could say. Now, I could pinky switch this. I go ahead and do it my normal way. I could vape any way I like it to, because that Switch is now upgraded. With that 26650 battery, I've been using this the whole day and haven't charged it. Although I have been using different mods, like I've been using the Sentinel mod with the K-Fun. But for the majority of the time I'm at home, I use this. And I even took it out today, just because it's just freaking beautiful. Aesthetically, it helps. It helps to have a mod. My suggestion, some people switch that center pin the other way around so it's not spring-loaded. I noticed when I did that, I did notice a slight voltage drop, so I went and put it back to the regular configuration, and it's been working flawless. At the same time, I do have a 18650 tube converter where I could use 18650 BTC4 batteries in here. The contacts are all silver plated. Very good as far as the conductivity goes on this mod. So I'm basically saying this thing kicks like a mule, hits hard, which means it has very little voltage drop. Freaking awesome, guys. Freaking awesome. So I am done with my vape session for today. I'll take a couple more vapes later, but I want to update you on that. Well, thanks for watching, guys.